Hi everybody, welcome to kdmoonchild's world. I'm Katie, and welcome to Saturday Solutions. This is an oracle card reading. As you can tell, all these cards here are oracle. They're larger than normal, not normal, larger than the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot cards, so obviously they're not tarot. Anyway, I digress. My mind tends to wander. Welcome, if you're new here. My subscribers, hey, I'm glad to see you back. We're here to find out some solutions to some wowie, wacky, crazy time. Anyway, yeah. I've tried to simplify it a little bit, but then Spirit gave us some extra cards. That's how it seems to happen. I try to shorten the video. Spirit says, no, if you're going to make more time, we will add this. So here we go. In the first position here, we have two cards. And these two cards are from the Colette Baron Reed Mystical Shaman deck. Sorry, my brain is just kind of like short-circuiting here. And no, I'm not AI, but I feel like it. There's two cards. This is our current situation. This is the sunset position. Our past, where we are now, kind of what we're dealing with, and maybe some obstacles. I don't know. There's two cards here, so it's going to be interesting to find out. Over here, in the sunrise position, which is the promise of the new day, that is the west. By the way, that is the east. This is the west. Over here, we have the Colette Baron Reed Shaman's Dream deck. Two cards once again, so we will find out what that is. These two cards represent our goals, our hopes, where we want to be. Sometimes it's a chasm between the east and the west, as you know, so we need a map, how to meet, how to get from one place to the other. So we use the Enchanted Map deck by Colette Baron Reed. Then the next thing we do is we come down here and we check on what messages we have from the south, the valleys, and Gaia, the earth, Pachamama, Mawu, Mother Earth. This is the Herbal Astrology deck. It's a new one. I'm just getting familiar with it, so bear with me while I do read the book on it to understand the meanings of all the images on the card. Up here, we have the obstacle of the mountain. And you'll notice once again, we have two cards. This is really important because from the top of the mountain, you can see the horizon. From the top of the mountain, you can soar if you're light enough, if you've shed enough layers, if you've given up enough of what you've been holding on that doesn't serve you. And finally, this is also our north position, okay? And finally, over here, we have Message from Spirit. This is from the Angels and Ancestors deck by, pardon me, Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. And it is just what I said. It is a message from Spirit for us, for the week. And over here is a message from all the living creatures that we don't think talk to us. So they're going to talk to us in this card. That's why the bunny sits on the card, okay? So, thank you for being here, like I said before. Let's get started, okay? Oh, let's do this. I'm going to start here with our current situation and the two cards. I'm going to take the top card first. Oh my goodness, look. There are 3 cards here. Okay. Pardon me, goddess dear. I'm going to move these over. I think I need to, huh? Start with a 1 on top. It's the Gatherer. Are you ready for winter? Have you gathered enough to survive if things get tough? Do you have backup? Do you have extra water, batteries, or maybe a generator? I don't know. It could be a long winter. We have all been striving to get that together. This card is telling us to make sure we have. This is a number 3 card, which is a card about expression and growth, but it is also a card about groups. Now here I don't necessarily read this as be careful of the groups you hang out with. Here I'm reading that as gather together in groups of like-minded people. Come on, camera, let's see if you can focus. Thank you. Now stay there. Probably would help if I didn't move the card, huh? Anyhow, see, this person has gathered plenty, and I'm looking at her as though she's a shaman. She knows she's got a limit to work with, just a few moons before winter is here full bore, and some of you, it already has arrived. Are you ready? I know we've been working on it, being ready for so many things. I'm going to move that, put this kind of up here so we can see the next card. This is the coyote in reversed. Once again, a 3 card. Wow. Okay. We had 21 and now 12 in the reverse. You know, the coyote is sly. The coyote is smart. The coyote does not need a pack. The coyote is fine all by itself. As a matter of fact, functions well by itself because it can make it sound like it has many more just like it. Can I get that a little brighter light? There we go. Look at those eyes. The coyote is a trickster, but yet the coyote is so sacred that the skinwalkers use their skin often. Last I'll mention them in a card reading. Turn it up right side up so you can actually see the picture. You see the moon back here? Isn't that telling? And that coyote, does that coyote have its mouth open? Or is that just feathers? Oh, there we go. It's feathers. Look down here by my thumb. Is that the new moon? And the one up behind the coyote is the full moon? And the energy it's going to be bringing in with it? Or is that the full moon that we had and the energy it already brought in? I know the energy has been all over the place, really powerful and exhausting to me. So yeah, it's kind of flipped the trickster on its head. If you're the kind of person that needs to plan your every move every day, it's been kind of hard to do that lately. Very hard. See what the last card is on this, where we are. I heard that yesterday. I'm going to be hearing it even more as today rolls in. Thunder. Is that coming in with the full moon? Is that coming in with the new moon? I read this card as a card of change. Because what does a storm bring? The healing, nourishment, and change. A thunderstorm is a warning of the change that is coming. The thunder is the reaction of the energy collision that creates lightning. I'm sorry, that keeps trying to focus. You know, I'm going to get this autofocus camera down. Anyway, the number 56 When you add the 5 and the 6 makes an 11, which is master number. Is a master of a new beginning. It is also a number of the beginning of manifestation. So together, what are these cards telling us? We have the Gatherer and the Coyote with their opposite numbers, but yet they're the same. That is a clue right there. 21 and the reverse is the Trickster upside down as a 12. We've been watching in politics the tricksters being turned on their heads, but I would not necessarily classify them in the intelligence level of the Coyote. But you know what? Yeah. Yes. They themselves may not be, the actors may not be, but there's someone behind them who is, and they have been turned on their heads. It's only going to continue. The Gatherer says it's only going to continue to get crazier and more chaotic. Be ready. Tricksters on their heads, being contrary and opposite to those who are trying to prepare and care for the rest of the world. They're turned on their heads. It's kind of hard to function standing upside down. And then finally, all they're going to do is make a lot of noise. No rain. It's like thunder without lightning. No fire, no passion, just a lot of a lot more. And here, like I said, is the 11. New beginnings. Because of all of this thunder and bluster and actors and the tricksters being upside down, we see through them now. So we are gathering and getting ready for a long winter of this same old thing. Okay? Oh, dearie me. It's going to be a good winter. Where do we want to be? Here we have 2 cards. Top card. We want to have everyone, pardon me, goddess, everyone to have the compassion and the love, the unconditional love of heart and home. We want everybody to have a home to come home to. And everybody can't have that unless we all have compassion for one another. So the key here, doesn't this kind of remind you of a lock? The key to that heart home is compassion. Feel the pain of others. Feel the confusion of others. The only way you can do that is if you unconditionally love them and do not judge them. It is the key to you ascending to the next level and your sense of comfort. The card underneath it, also this is a 9 card, which is a card of attainment, fulfillment, and fruition. So once you have compassion for others and the things around you, including the ground you walk on, yeah, that's where we want to be. We want to feel that compassion for our surroundings and everything in it, so that we can have a comfortable and safe and stable home. And that has to start in our hearts. The second card is the reminder it's okay to hermit for a short while, but don't do it for a long time. Find your community. Like it said over here under the gathering, like-minded people. It's how we flip the trickster. okay? In the coyote. We know that there's power in numbers. You know that in everything you're taught. Find your like-minded community. In that community is your power. You add to the community's power as much as it adds to yours. Find something that you like to do, you know. I don't know, you like to rock climb? Do you like to mountain bike? Do you like to hike? Nothing like all three dangerous. Or do you like to just go sit in the park and read a book? Listen to the birds and watch the other people in the park and the children playing. The point is, in the power of community, you have the safety to go and become one with it all. So how do we get from trying to gather together to survive the winter, to survive the changes coming after winter in the spring, and the changes coming this winter because of the tricksters that we're having to deal with who are turned on their head, making a lot of noise? We need our heart home and our compassion, so we must gather together in the power of community to take care of each other. We learn unconditional love in taking care of each other. How do we get from this chaotic place where we're seeking the quiet? Because it's the time of renewal. But these two cards are making it hard to find a quiet place of sanctuary unless you turn these two off or down. Maybe don't focus on it so much. And be mindful of the community. When you're in a chat that is a card reading chat where they will answer your questions through the pulling cards or through an remote view or an intuitive mediumship feelings or visions, please keep in mind what you're asking of them and how many of them do you ask, because you spread an energy with you every single time. Sometimes and a lot of times because you come to us for comfort. Be mindful of the fact that what you are asking, is it spreading fear? Is that what we're trying to do? Or are we trying to be beacons of light in a very dark world? Think about that. What kind of a community do you want to be a part of? Me, I want to be a part of a community that makes kindness a habit. I had to throw that in there. You're going to hear that from me a lot. It's a movement I want to really get involved in and starting. I know I'm not starting it because I've seen other hashtags with that. So anyhow, I digress. So that seems like a canyon between all the chaos over here and the wanting to hermit to, well, Mercury retrograde is coming up soon. And that's going to help you hermit and help you reflect and help you renew. So just don't get in a hurry. Hang in there. Just be strong. Because this is where we're working for. We're wanting to have the connection with the community and the power of that connection. And understanding that the key to our hearts and the stabilities of our homes is through compassion for one another. We gotta find compassion for one another. How do we do that? Ladies, in your tower of power, we'll put that tower of power down here, and we'll put it over here. And we'll put her here. It's always a matter of juggling these things. Look at that card. Really? Okay, I'm going to read this card two ways because I saw it two ways. First thing, not to worry about the storms because they bring the water. And in the water, you can play. You don't have to let the water sweep you off or carry you away. This person is riding a dolphin, y'all. Look at that. Oh, I would love to be able to ride a dolphin and still breathe. Oh, get the reflection off the card if I can. There. See? In the surf. Dolphins love to play in the surf. The card's telling us to ride the waves. Get in the flow. Not to worry about the tricksters and their chaos and their noise over here. Not to worry about where you're going here. Because as you ride this wave and are carried away by nature's spirits, watch the natural creatures. Focus on the natural things. As you get carried away by that wave, you will find your like-minded people, the community to gather with, who will strengthen your compassion to help you find your heart home. Now, the other way I want to read this card, for those of you who are looking at this in a political way over here, the tricksters and the chaos, the tricksters who are actors standing on their heads, and the chaos they're creating and spewing and spouting, seeing that as politics. Understand, this card is saying, vote. It is your job to change things. It doesn't just happen. You got to get out there and, use some of your energy. Use some of your light, please. I know it may be a very difficult struggle where you live to go vote, but it's worth it, please, because the struggle, if you don't vote, will be constant and daily. We need to be able to ride the blue wave. Vote. Okay, enough of that. Enough. It's the best way to stop this over here. To create and keep these guys on their head. Who cares what noise they make? They don't have any power standing on their head. Okay? You can be sure they're not into yoga. Okay? So what is Mother Earth trying to tell us, Gaia? What do you want us to know? I'm definitely, gonna need to look this one up. But it's a beautiful flower. Okay. It is Pau de Arco. And it is a card of metamorphosis. Oh my goodness, look at, there's the uterus. And look up there in her head, up on top of, in it, coming out of her head, out of her crown chakra. She has fully taken off her mask and allowed her womanhood to shine. She's arisen. Look at the body laying down there. She's a reminder of you are more than your body. And your body is also changing. Let's read what the book has to say about this card. If I can find the book here. It was down here. There we go. It's the number 7. These are herbs that are blessings of the moon. Ah, that's why there was the moon symbol. That's why there's the moon symbol in her headdress up here. And you can't even see it at all. Ah, dumb. That's why there's the moon there. See, there's 2 moons. All that light is coming out of one of them. Oh, okay. One is her third eye and one is her crown chakra. And so she's breathing and understanding her womanhood and her place here. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, this is the metamorphosis. Pau de Arco. What it means is discovery through darkness, transcendence of the known, unearthing fear and nonconformity, and breaking cycles. 7 is a card of control, a card of reflection, and a card of assessment is a number of. So understand also that it is ruled by the moon and the planet Pluto. This is commonly known as Tabico or Lapacha. I'm not even going to try it. Commonly known, and I didn't know that, obviously. I know it more as Pau de Arco, one of the most beautiful trees on earth. Really, I had no idea it was a tree. With over 100 varieties, this tree has been used medicinally among many tribal peoples throughout Central and South America. Most commonly, the inner lining of the bark was boiled for a long period of time and then consumed as a dark coffee-like tea. That's how I have heard of it. Pau de Arco has many medicinal qualities that fall under the moon and Pluto's discretion and domination, such as being a blood tonic and a daily tonic for strength, and also being employed for digestive imbalances, menstrual irregularities, there's your uterus that has the blood dripping from it, malaria, anemia, colds, flu, fungal infections, respiratory problems, arthritis, cancer, and a lot more. Ooh, I'm going to get some tea and use that for my arthritis. That might help my thumb. It is one of the great protectors of the sacred. She's welcoming you in. Your mighty darkness provides the tools to rebuild ourselves anew, triggering instant metamorphosis. Don't fear the unknown. Oh yeah, okay. Don't fear the unknown nature of mystery. The cosmic womb in its darkness births all hidden potentials into existence. Trust and step in. You are being guided. Wow. Okay, I get it, the message in that. I don't know if you guys did, but ladies, we're the womb of the universe. No matter what the rules, the laws, what they try to take away as far as our rights go, that is a fact that cannot be changed. No matter how much money or power is behind such change. That is your strength. That is your power. It is in the beauty of all the variations that you come in. Like this wonderful tree. 200 varieties? Isn't that what it said? Did it say 200 or 400? What did that say? See? I already forgot. Early, you guys. Okay, be with me. Over 100 varieties. Okay, so I doubled and quadrupled it. Over 100 varieties. Yeah, there's at least 100 variations of us as women. You know, celebrate that. Understand that. Understand that if the earth and the world listens to us as women to stop being so wasteful, make it through that valley. You can climb to the top of those fragrant floral trees, where you can pick the flowers to make the tea, to find that clarity that you're needing to find to be able to relax and renew in the weeks to come. That is what it is supposed to be, winter. Relaxing and renewing. And we need the time to do that. So if you need the time to do that, you have to make it. And that's the valley you're crossing. How do you make the time for yourself and not feel guilty or selfish? I suggest you will find a moderate way to do such things. Okay. Sorry, I needed a drink. Been doing a lot of talking, a lot of cards here to talk about. Wow. Told you there was a few extra cards. The mountain. This one is an obstacle. We either have to climb, go around, go through, or make it move. You have the power to do all of those. When we have two cards that's telling us, is that two obstacles? Or is it an obstacle and a solution? Let's see. First card, top card. Oh, dragon. Spirit. So we've definitely come out of the grotto. What's the first thing we come across? Dragon. That dragon is charging her with new energies. See her laying there? That's the 11 card. New energy. New beginning. Looks like that dragon's stealing her energy. Is that a dragon of darkness? It's your choice. How do you read that? I see energy coming from the moon here. See? And it's got that dragon distracted. Because that energy is flowing into her from her feet and connecting to the dragon. Is the dragon the vessel calling in this energy to this woman? Or is this dragon taking the energy that is, or some of the energy that is being pumped into her from the moon up here? Because he can't get out there in the light. Only light he can handle is this light from her. But that's his power. He knows how to use the light from the moon to fulfill his needs and indoctrinate those he chooses. He could be an obstacle. If you look at it as though he's taking her energy as it's coming into her, he's an obstacle. And he's a powerful one. Put that down. Second card. It's telling us time to reflect is coming. Be still and look into the reflecting pool. Don't be afraid of what you will see. So that tells me if you need to do shadow work, please do it. This also is a card. I can't see the number very well. Fancy schmancy number. It's a 33. Another master number. Once again, it's about expression and growth in groups. It's about community. But it's about reflecting on your place in the community. You don't need to work so hard on belonging, because you do. Whatever community you choose it because you belong there. So don't work so hard on trying to belong. Find your quiet place where you can be, where you can reflect, and where you can see your place in the community. That's not an obstacle. That's a solution to this one. Find your place in the community, and the darkness cannot zap your energy because it can't get to you in the first place. So it's about the groups and your community. This reading has all been about community and helping each other as a community, even as it switches into a little political lean. This is interesting. So now as I'm looking at our 4 directions and the map to it all, I hear and I see, do not stress, do not worry. You will find the power of your community because your community is going to find you. Your teachers will find you when you're ready to be the student. Because all of us, our ultimate goal is the heart home and compassion for one another. Okay? Compassion for every living thing, including the dragon up here. The dragon who's the energy thief. I've decided that's what this card is saying. I don't know about you all. I love dragons, but this particular dragon is stealing her energy that she is accumulating from the moon. And he thinks he's all powerful because he can do that. But in the reflecting pool and in the quiet stillness, even if that is just her laying here, she will see her answers because her answers are inside. As I pat my chest, her answers are inside her. Nowhere else. Our answers are inside of us. You can go to self-help, you can all of these things, but unless you change something in you, you're going to repeat the same patterns and actions and reactions over and over again. I'm tired of that treadmill. I don't know about you guys. I'm ready. I'm glad you're here as my community. I'm so glad to be in this community with you. You're fantastic, wonderful people. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Do not let the energy dragon suck all your energy away and make you so tired that you lose your focus, that you can't see the community that's gathering around you. I've been there, believe me, and I've been there very recently. Till I got a couple of diagnoses that were not fun. One solving is getting better. The back issue is getting so much better. Actually getting to spend a lot of time in the water, in the flow, in the swimming pool. Exhausting, because the workout is not easy because of the resistance. But it's teaching me so much about flow. Yeah. You want to use that resistance in physical therapy. You want to work around it or avoid it when you're in flow. Because it slows you down. And it's hard work. But it makes you stronger. Especially in your core. So there's my little tidbit of wisdom from my week. What a week. I'll tell you about my week when we get to after the message from Spirit. Spirit, what have you got to tell us? We get the magic guardian. Unlock the magic within. Stop looking for your answers from sources outside yourself and your truth. You won't find any answers there. Your answers are within you. See that flame she's holding in her hand? Be careful who you give your energy to. Because there's a lot of dragons, energy dragons and succubuses and energy vampires. There's a lot of beings out there that want nothing but to steal your energy. Dim your light. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Spirit is saying they're there for a reason. They are there as a light, believe it or not, to show you what to watch out for, to show you what is actually truthfully happening, to give you the clarity of your purpose, not to be afraid. This particular angel has golden wings. She can carry you anywhere, higher and higher and higher. Believe in the magic that resides inside you. Believe that magic runs through everything that is alive. Understand the community that you are looking for is just a blink of an eye away from you. Don't try to see it with your eyes. Feel it and go there. Sometimes when we see it with our eyes, we can't see because our brain tells us we don't know what to look for. Close your eyes. Use your third eye and your chakras. Feel it. What keeps them spinning in balance, and what is it that throws them into chaos? There's your clarity, and there's your answers. As long as you feel those chakras spinning along, humming along in harmony, you got it. We got it. Okay? I had quite a week this week. I worked hard. First of all, wee hours of the morning, Sunday morning, I fell down. And my box of essential oils, which is made out of wood, pretty box, right? Landed on my shin. But the funny part is, I landed straddling the cat box. Somehow I did not end up sitting in it. Thank you. But when that box fell on my shin, I mean, I was laughing about missing the cat box, and it was a delayed thing when the box fell on my shin. Hurt. Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't realize that as I was landing, I'm like halfway leaning back and pulling forward so that I would land in a certain way. I wouldn't sit in the cat box. And gave myself quite a case of whiplash. That happened about 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. 9 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning Monday, I had physical therapy in the pool. And I hurt so bad on Sunday, I couldn't hardly move from my neck. And my leg had swelled up and made a huge bruise. Of well, right now it goes clear down to my foot. It's from the middle of my shin clear down to my foot. From the box of essential oils landing on it. So we took it easy even. And I spent extra time in the nice warm jets. And all that did was make me go to sleep when I got home. But when I woke up, my neck was better. So then after that day off, Wednesday, I had a mammogram. As you know, I'm a breast cancer survivor, so those things are real important to me. I had the mammogram, a sonogram, as well as a bone density scan. And I haven't heard on the bone density scan, but so far, it's all normal. The mammogram and the ultrasound were normal, and that's what I'm excited about. I don't think I have osteoporosis, so I think I'm good. Where I hurt for other reasons, opposite reasons, like arthritis. Although my dad had both. You can have both, apparently. Okay. That was my good news for the week. So there's no cancer. There's no... Yes, I'm free for a year again. Now, let's find out what the critters have to tell us about how we're doing on our path. Give us a message, please. What do you want us to know about the times ahead? Please, little critter animals. Mr. Bunny Rabbit and the Therapet deck. It's usually similar to this message. Whatever you manage to do today, it will be enough. Don't overdo. And you can't see that because it's sideways. How about I flip it and make it right side up for you? There you go. Whatever you manage to do today, it'll be enough. You don't need to worry about working so hard. okay. Find and hold on to that reflection pool of stillness. And as you have been the gatherer, gather together your community, so you can all ride the blue wave together. Find that land where the trees are blooming with a restorative and healing dark tea that will connect you to the magic guardian and shut down the energy dragon. I thank you guys so much for being here. Kind of a long reading again, but shoot, all these cards, I think I did pretty good. Thanks for being here. You're so important to me. If you like what you saw, share it with somebody. And if you want to come back for more, subscribe. But you have to hit the bell that says all, so that you will get the notifications when I post something. And I do post other things besides this. So if you want to see what all I do, you go to the main channel. There's about 300 videos there for you to choose from. I believe today is like 301 or something like that. So I thank you for being here. Blessings to you all. And as we get going through this time of Thanksgiving, community and family and heart, home, compassion, find your stillness and understand that whatever you manage to do today will be enough. You know, we need to all make kindness be a habit with us. It's a lot easier to come at people with kindness than with anger and who the hell are you? So, be a kindness monger, not a fear monger, or an anger monger. Okay, I'll tell you goodbye on that one. You guys have a really good weekend and a good week. And yeah, as we start into the week of Thanksgiving, blessings to you. I will be doing a Thanksgiving reading. But until then, take care of yourselves. Be kind and namaste.